Electromagnetic channels are the mainstay of our genetic attraction to each other, because the genes ultimately are attracting us to the opposite, because that furthers our genetic lineage. It makes our special immune system stronger. So electromagnetic channels, in terms of connectivity, are ultimately what sparks some kind of union, but inherently they are pretty unstable, because an electromagnetic channel is formed when two gates come together that are at opposite ends of a particular channel. So person A in this case has a hanging gate, the 30th gate in the emotional center, and person B has this root pressure, the 41, at the other end. Now, these are hanging gates. They are searching for what could come at the other end. And thus, when they come together in this union of a connection, they spark the channel. So these hanging gates, and look in your design, are simply receptors to being conditioned by the other person when the auras touch. It's an invitation by your genes to be conditioned by something else. And these electromagnetic channels evoke something very, very strong. It's that sense of when you meet the other side, wow, this is it. But that feeling of this is it is simply the genes turning on the chemistry to draw in that conditioning. It doesn't mean it's necessarily something that is going to be an attraction for very long, because electromagnetic channels are a locking mechanism. Whenever A and B come together, the 41 and the 30 always lock together, but it's not these gates that are locking together. Always remember that a gate is never just a gate, it is a gate with a line. There are 6 lines. Every line ultimately has a substructure. So color, 6 colors, tone, 6 tones, and base, 5 bases. So that 30th gate in A's design is 1/1080th of what the 30th gate is. And thus you are locking in 1/1080th with another 1/1080th. So it's a tiny slither of what the possibility is that the hanging gate could meet at the other end. And this is why we call these attraction and repulsion channels, because yes, it brings that initial attraction, but the genes are fickle. They're well aware that there's another 1079 possibilities of that hanging gate. So this is where we get the old cliches, the familiarity breeding contempt, because you can absolutely get sick of being conditioned by the same thing over and over and over again. So it's easy to say these are love and hate channels. Maybe not that extreme, but there's a tension in this dynamic between attraction and repulsion, sweet and awful. Because the very thing that attracts in terms of these electromagnetics ultimately is going to be the thing that also turns you off, that will become offensive to you. So when you're looking at a connection chart, don't get overexcited by the number of electromagnetic channels. In fact, these are unstable energies moving between this attraction-repulsion dynamic. And in fact, you don't need a lot of these electromagnetic channels to have that in-love feeling. It's a spark. You only need one of them ultimately. And too many certainly can lead to instability. If we look at this particular chart, 2 of the electromagnetics here are the entire human experiential way of the abstract family. The 41, the pressure for experience. The 30, the emotionalization, the recognition of that pressure. The 36 is an antenna that is out there looking for the potential to manifest that particular experience. And the 35 is the manifested potential. So this is certainly rock and roll energy in terms of this coupling. But again, the abstract, it's that build-up wave of excitement and then the sudden crash, the falling off the cliff at the other end. So certainly electromagnetics can bring instability in terms of union. And another thing to look at in terms of these electromagnetics, this is something we've added as an extra on the Pro version of connection charts. You will see these small letters just to the left of the channel name, D, H and R. Well, what this is referring to is the coming together of the lines from each person with the hanging gates in that particular channel. So if we take the first one there, this channel of perfected form, person A has the 57, person B has the 10. Well, if you look at the lines now, person B has the second line running there, and that second line is meeting the 57 at the other end, and it is a choice between the fourth and the first lines there. You'll notice that with Neptune in person A's design. Well, the red D means dissonant, because the hexagram line structure works on resonances between the upper and the lower trigram. So first lines, the foundation of the hexagram, harmonize with fourth lines, which is ultimately the foundation of externalizing the line's nature. Second lines are harmonic to fifth lines, third lines to sixth lines, and vice versa, 6, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1. Well, a second line and a first line are dissonant to each other, and that means that yes, there's an attraction here, but you've got dissonant lines coming together. So it's like you're attracted to someone, but they're standing on your foot at the same time. And that can certainly, in terms of the instability of electromagnetics, dissonance can hasten the potential of this instability. The H stands for harmonic, so this is a nice musical note. If we look at the channel of recognition here, the 41st gate, which is person B, has the third line, the line of efficiency. And person A, the 30th gate, has the sixth line with their Jupiter. So a third line and a sixth line is harmonic, so the energy moves comfortably within this electromagnetic channel. And where you see an R, that stands for resonant, meaning it's the same line at both ends. So if you look at the channel of mating there, the 59th gate with B, the third line, the line of openness, their unconscious Venus, is meeting the sixth gate at the other end, the emotional end of that channel, and that is a third line, the line of allegiance with the south node of person A. So this is a fully resonant channel. The energy moves nicely there as well. And remember, electromagnetic channels really are a kind of mirage, because we get to feel something about the other person that really isn't who they are. When you come together in an aura with somebody else, these electromagnetic channels are triggered only whilst you are in auric contact with that other person. And if that person moves into another room, the spell is broken and all of these electromagnetics disappear in a puff of smoke. And that's not the case with all of these other types of channels, compromised channels. Well, somebody has that channel in their design. It's always there. Dominance channels, same thing. It's part of the nature of who that person is. Same with friendship channels. But these electromagnetic channels absolutely don't exist. They are a construct of the genes to pull us together in terms of the genetic imperative.